What's up, guys? Movie Buff here. Gonna talk about SHAZAM. I've been really kind of anticipating this movie a little bit to see what DC is gonna do after Aquaman, where they're gonna go, what kind of style it's gonna be. Obviously, they're going with, not really the universe-centric, darker, grittier that DC was known for. They're doing this, not more lighthearted, more laughs and stuff in these movies now, and it's working for them. I mean, Aquaman made bank at the box office. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what Shazam's box office is at now, but I mean, I know it's making buku bucks. There's going to be a sequel. It's already being developed and stuff with the same writer and director. So, I mean, this is working for DC, which is good. I mean, I want to see more DC characters. I don't want it to get like so shitty that they just close the whole thing. There's no more Batman, no more Superman, no more of these great characters that I love and grew up with. So I was glad to see that Shazam is doing good. Based off what I thought about it, I mean, it was good. Shazam in this movie, it's like a coming of an age story. You've got Billy Batson, he's just, a kid that's had a rough time, kind of been an orphan all his life in one way or another, switched from families. He's always trying to find his mom, which he lost, when he was little, which made him the orphan and stuff. So, there's that, but he's very independent. He doesn't really like help or doesn't want anybody's, pity or anything. So that really comes off. He's just got a chip on his shoulder kind of way. And he finally gets put with this really great family. And I will say the brothers, the kid that's in Stranger Things, I think his name is Asher. He was hilarious in the movie. I really liked him. I liked him even better than I did Billy's character. He's just a very good actor. He's a child actor, but I believe him when he's on the screen in anything he does. He's great in Stranger Things. He was even better in this. So I really love their chemistry. They played off each other really well. And, Zachary Levi, he's got that childhood kind of like spark about him anyways. So that just works for Shazam because, Shazam is kind of like a big, if you've ever seen the movie with Tom Hanks, it's a little kid that, is in a grown man's body, and this grown man has superpowers. So it's kind of like big Superman has the power of Raiden from Mortal Kombat. I'm getting really nerdy on you guys, and it's okay. It's okay. I'm just saying that's basically what Shazam is in a nutshell. And, basically, in the movie, you've got this wizard. He's obviously, grown old. He used to have this cultivation of wizards and stuff, and they've all been killed off or died, whatever. He's the only one, and he's holding back this terrible power in these stones, and it basically represents all the bad in humanity, lust, anger, all the 7 deadly sins. So there's a character for each deadly sin. And he's been looking for a champion for so long because he's about to, die. He's getting older. He's losing his power. He's unable to keep these sins at bay. So he's trying to protect mankind. So he sends out these like feelers and stuff, and they go find the worthy one. Well, it gets to the point where, the world is just such a bad place. There's not that many good people anymore. And he gets to the point where he's just like anyone, basically. And, Billy does something that is worthy, and it brings him to Shazam. And he's just like, say my name and get my powers. It's Jaimin Hansu. So, he's got that aura about him, that power. And, he's like, Shazam, and then he realizes like, holy shit, this is not BS. Well, lucky for him, his brother, his like new brother that's in this, new family of his is like super nerdy. So of course, where's the first place you're going to go? The nerd. But so he goes to him and he's like, I don't know nothing about this. Like, what do I do? And so they do all these kind of like tests, flight tests, bullet immunity, speed, all this stuff. And they're figuring out, his powers, which is, to me, that's my favorite part of the movie, is just the chemistry between those two and doing all the things and figuring out all these new powers he has. And then you have the villain in the movie, which was unworthy. You know, he was chosen, but he was unworthy. He didn't pass Jaimin Hansu's Shazam Wizard's test. So he's had a chip on his shoulder his whole life. And so basically he makes a point, you know, to unleash the 7 deadly sins. So the 7 deadly sins versus Shazam. And the 7 deadly sins are in this rock that he has in his eye. As weird as that sounds, but anything. He basically holds all these spirits and he can release them at any point. And he keeps one inside him so he can be like, you know, invulnerable. But as soon as that spirit leaves, you know, he's just an ordinary man. So that's his weakness. And I won't tell you how they beat him in the end, but it is a throwback to a comic. It's a very obscure comic. I mean, really, in my ideal of Shazam is Shazam's just, you know, Shazam, you know, like I'm basically Superman, you know, and they fight Black Adam and he becomes, you know, part of the Justice League and stuff like that. But they go a different route in this movie, and I think it's because the whole Justice League thing isn't working for DC. So they're going a different route and they're doing these very individual adaptations, which, you know, like I said, is working for them, so more power to them. But they go a different route in this movie. I wouldn't say I hated the route they went. It was definitely different. I still had a good time. I laughed a lot in the movie. I didn't really think it was going to be that funny. The action was good. The CGI was good. You know, the lightning out of his hands and stuff. I mean, it was believable. So, you know, I definitely probably give it like an 8, you know. 8 out of 10. We saw it in the IMAX, so that's going to make everything better, obviously, especially for superhero movies. So, yeah, man, go check it out. I really thought it was worth the price of admission. We'll put it that way. So, until next time, see you at the movies.